Okay, we're Sunday morning of the first or weekend. I went out on Poachers stand and had a gorgeous view of the sun coming up with the fog in the valley, and it was a great sight that I'll never forget. But that's about all I can share. So on to next. Here's Uncle John.
Again, I'll have to agree with Duane. It was a beautiful morning again. I went down to the lowlands on Pollocks Point, and it started to clear about 6:30, and then the fog moved in. And it kept moving in and out, and it was kind of eerie, but all in all, everything was going along fine. And then about, I believe it was around 7:30, I happened to take a look to my right, which be basically west, and there are two beady eyes looking at me. And I can't tell what it was at first, but then I decided it's a deer. And this deer is looking at me, and I'm looking at her, and all of a sudden she decides that she wants to go, and I didn't have the opportunity to get up on her. She took off, made a couple bounds, disappeared in the fog, and at the same time another one went the other direction. So it was a kind of an exciting morning. Didn't get a deer, saw two, and I consider it a successful hunt.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Josh. I was on the swingset stand once again, like I was last night, and I have to agree with the rest of the guys, Duane and John, and say it was a beautiful morning. A little bit of fog. Again, I had really no action, just again birds and squirrels and stuff. But around probably about 9 o'clock, my dad Jerry took a couple of shots, and I went over there about 15 minutes later and helped him look for his deer. So that was my excitement for the morning. Otherwise, I didn't really see anything.
Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I'm not really with these folks. I'm here to enter my pig in the hog farm. No, never mind. This morning was quiet. It was warm. It was beautiful. Myself, I sat on the Beaver Point with Joshua on the swing set, and uneventful until about 9 o'clock, of course. I looked at my watch and said, well, it's 9:05. There must be some deer around here. Sure as hell, there was a doe. And it was in the thick stuff. So wanting to get some action for Joshua, I let fly with a couple of rounds, or actually one round at the doe, waited a little bit, and all of a sudden, yes, there was the buck as well. Took a shot at the buck in the thick stuff way back where, and hopefully making him run or killing him, one of the two. But of course neither happened. We didn't find any blood, we didn't find anything. They never ran towards Joshua, which of course by now was very awake and alert, looking for something to come. So beautiful morning. Just got the one yesterday. So anyhow, that's my story. Sad but sweet.
Doug, are you coming back next week?
Hi, this is Todd. And hunting this Sunday morning. It was a beautiful morning. Actually, real foggy in the woods. And I was on the North Knoll, and it was absolutely a postcard. It was so beautiful as the fog was set into the lowland and the sun was shining through it. Absolutely beautiful. Spent morning on the North Knoll till about 9:30. I could see that Doug was on the north end of Papa Daune's ridge. He was on that stand, and he left about 9:30. And so I figured I'd warm up a little bit and go see what was going on and walk over there. On the way, I noticed a buck rub, and it really looked fresh. And it just got me thinking, there could be another buck around here. And so, not a lot of action in the morning. Got over to that stand about 9:30, quarter to 10. And got up on the stand and noticed that Doug still had his stuff there, and his Polaris and the deer he'd shot the day before. And so I figured, well, it looks like Doug's going to come back anyway. I'll just stand on his stand for 10 minutes. So I got up on the stand, and I used the grunt call. Here, I'll grunt just like I did. I gave the call one of these. And turned around, and sure enough, just to my east, right by Doug's Polaris, in comes a buck. And it took just about that long, probably 12, 15 seconds. and this buck was there, and I did everything I could to get my rifle on it, and by the time I got it in sights, it actually turned and was coming right at me, trying to see what had made that noise. And so I basically got body in the scope and let fly and shot him. And my shot wasn't great, hit him in the backbone, and he went right down. And pretty much I'm pretty sure it's the biggest deer I've ever shot. He's actually got 7th points. He's basically a 6-pointer or a 7-pointer. And we all think he's probably 200 pounds on the hoof anyway. So anyways, beautiful deer, and a whole season of excitement packed into about 20 seconds for me this morning. So anyways, that's my story.
Hello, this is Doug Smith. Sunday morning, I was hunting off of Papa's North stand, and basically what I saw was absolutely nothing. I heard nothing. It wasn't anything like yesterday, when in the morning and in the afternoon, I at least heard and saw something. I did mosey over to what we call the milk bucket, the milk carton stand. I went over there, and that's kind of falling apart, but I did manage to get up and scope it out, and just hoping that I could at least move something over to Papa Daune. And in the meantime, as you heard, Todd went down the stand that I was on and got himself a beautiful, beautiful buck. So at any rate, had a great weekend with good company, and that is all I have. Thank you.
Go for it.
Oh, well, this is Papa Daune. Started out a beautiful morning. I took my new poncho. It's supposed to rain, and so that was my insurance, and it was very effective. Didn't rain so far, and it's about noontime. We're packing up to go home. I had an enjoyable morning, relaxing, watching the scenery and listening to the other people shoot. Wasn't much shooting, but what we did was effective, and so I'm all packed up and ready to go now, and I'm real happy so far.
Thank you.